I've never felt so tech-enabled.
That's the point, right?
That is the point. Yeah, okay. Maybe that is the point. Well, that's great because we're really acing it. We've got 5 cameras.
We've got 5 cameras, about 9 microphones. One of the cameras keeps looking the wrong direction. We've got a live studio audience that didn't ask to be here. We've got cheese. It must be time for Ask the Bookkeeper.
Yes, cheese and wine.
Cheese and wine.
Cheese and wine.
So welcome to the Z Hotel. If any of you know us from TCS, you've heard us talk about this place, and now you're finally getting to experience it, the wonderful world of Z Hotel Soho.
Infamous.
Infamous indeed. Don't all start booking rooms here, because then we won't be able to get the, fabulous prices that we pay currently. But if a few of you want to join us after, the next event, the next Accountex or something like that, this is where the party doesn't happen, but it happens just around the corner. We're always very quiet and respectful at the Z Hotel. We're here with Amy Copeland.
Hey.
And we've dragged her out in the evening.
Yes.
ICB CEO. And Amy's going to talk to us about non-bookkeeping subjects, potentially.
It happens occasionally.
It does occasionally happen. So the idea behind this podcast is, firstly, we're not going to bore you for like 2 hours or anything. We're going to keep it relatively short and sweet. But the idea behind Ask the Bookkeeper is a little bit of what's going on in bookkeeping, a little bit of what's going on in accounting, a little bit of what's going on in the wider industry and what else is affecting us, and also just anything else that we kind of felt like talking about. And we thought we'd kick it off with a bit of what's hot or not. And I gave Amy some homework. Let's find out if she's done it. Amy Copeland, what's hot?
So this was late last night, I got this homework. So what is hot? I have actually been quite excited about what happened to Bookkeeper.
Right.
The fall of Bookkeeper. So Bookkeeper's been around for years, $90 million worth of investment. They first hit the news when it was revealed, I mean, this is like 10 years ago, it was revealed that instead of having automated the bookkeeping function, they actually had loads of people in the Philippines doing the bookkeeping. Did you hear about this?
I did. So this
Years
is
ago.
similar to what happened to Amazon, right? Like recently with the Amazon Fresh stores where you could just walk out, and they said it was all AI camera powered, enabled, and it turned out there was a load of people in a call center in Delhi, I think, who just watched all the CCTV and worked out what you'd put in your basket.
It's exactly like that. So we still need humans. But anyway, so like in February, they completely closed down and they said, frankly, this is way too hard. Basically, they thought they were doing really well. They were like 80% of stuff can be automated, but that last 20% of stuff is way too complex. The general ledger is a mess. And the human bookkeeper cannot be automated out of the job. So bookkeeper down and bookkeeper up. I thought that was quite good.
I think that is quite good, and I think that all we've heard about for the last couple of years, apart from MTD, is automation. And how you can just replace us all with AI. And I think that people might just be starting to realise that, as Bookkeeper have realised, it is a bit too hard, and you kind of do need a human or two kicking around somewhere, because there's no... We've seen some companies doing some really, really cool stuff. We've seen the likes of Briefcase doing like amazing things with their AI-powered data extraction. Really, really cool stuff. But even they're not suggesting that, at least at the moment, they're not suggesting that they can fully automate all of the bookkeepers' way. And they're working closely with bookkeepers and with accountants to make sure that everything they're doing is actually like saving us time and helping us do our job rather than trying to replace us.
Yeah, you need the experts.
You do need the experts.
I do like the idea of the whole sort of automated real-time close, because so I was in marketing at ICB before I became the CEO, and I never got how marketing reports are bang up to date, but then we'd get to the board meetings and then we'd still be talking about the previous quarter. I never really got that. The way that accounting is kind of always looking back, it feels like that's maybe a thing in the past now.
So from a more cynical standpoint, or, well, you could say this is cynical, but you could also say it's forward-looking. I, to an extent, don't understand why people are still obsessed with trying to automate month-end close, because why are you doing a month-end close at all?
Oh, yes.
Right?
Yes.
So you don't need to do a month-end close if your bookkeeping is done daily or even weekly. You need a month-end close to the point of, okay, we know that this month is finished and we are not going to change anything now. But that doesn't mean, just because that might be 2 months ago, because you've made sure that you've collected every receipt and you've made sure that all the depreciation has been run and all those kinds of things, whether that's done the day after month end or a few weeks later, to most businesses is kind of irrelevant, because the amount of depreciation recorded by most businesses does not affect any decision that they're going to make in terms of how to run their business. So maybe you don't need a month-end close at all, because maybe on the 3rd or 4th of April you already know exactly how March looks as a whole month. So why do you need to run a close?
So what is it your clients are asking you for? But they're not actually asking for it, right? You have to ask them, what do they want now? Because they don't even know what they want. Or at least they're too scared to ask.
Well, there's a lot of clients that kind of don't know what they want, or a lot of clients have an abstract idea of what they want, and it's our job to kind of, money, basically. But money, sadly, because we can't just give them piles of money, unfortunately, we have to kind of elucidate what they want. So a great example of that is you have a pub, right? Just a normal, simple, wet-led pub. Yeah, exactly. It's our kind of client. Traditionally, the type of reports you're going to give someone at the end of the month is, okay, here's your gross revenue, and here's your net profit and your gross profit, and this is what you spent on wages, and this is how much you need to put aside for VAT. Enjoy your next month. If you're more proactive about it, and what a lot of the new tools coming onto the market are helping us have time to be able to do, is that instead of spending ages and ages, doing a monthly stock take and then trying to work out the exact GP of every single thing, we can look at things like, okay, why do we sell more Guinness on Tuesdays, for example, right? Or is it true that we only sell double gin and tonics on Saturdays, and the rest of the week everyone only buys singles? And actually look at sales data. So it's not the technical bookkeeping then, it's using the data that we've created and using the data that AI empowered tools have created to help us advise clients better on how their business is performing. And the reason for that is that as a client, often if you're stuck in the day-to-day, you don't always have time to step back and look. But we do have time to step back and look, because if we've got some other tool doing a lot of the bank matching for us, that saved us a load of time, right?
What I'm realizing is I'm probably going to have to interject more, aren't I? But
you just kick.
So who does data better than a bookkeeper, right?
Well, like no one, apart from maybe a data scientist.
And they don't really exist anymore, right?
No, there's a couple around, but not many.
Yeah. I did speak to some sort of tech boss who said data analysts are just gone now. We don't hire any of them anymore. So I thought that was interesting. Bit of a worry.
Yeah.
But I think the key thing really is that people still don't want to necessarily learn huge amounts of tools. But what you're saying about being proactive it's interesting, because that is the thing that agents are now doing, right? Becoming proactive. I saw some video about can't remember what they call it, but sort of proactive agents within your house in the real life scenario, where you've got like a camera. I don't know if you saw this. Basically, it was a video of this lady. She was in the kitchen and she's got a hot plate, and the AI is watching her and can tell that she's got a hot plate, and so it moves using little robots on her countertop, moves like plates to put down so that she can then put her hot casserole dish down. It looks absolutely ridiculous. It moves a sharp knife out of her way because it thinks it might be dangerous. I mean, it just, to a certain extent, I love technology that helps you be more dumb. But at the same time, I think, like, are any of us getting enough exercise?
Well, yeah.
As is. If everything's going to be moved for you, are we all going to, is it going to be that kind of Wall-E scenario where we're sat in the comfy recliner chair, drinking the big gulp?
I mean, some people want that, right?
Yeah.
I mean, not me.
I think the reason I'm scared by it is because I think I do kind of want that.
Yeah,
a little bit.
I feel like it sounds lovely, and then I'd be bored of it within about 3 days.
Yeah,
is what I think would happen. Some people it will suit really, really well, and everyone will just be able to rot permanently. But I mean, that's the argument for universal basic income, isn't it, really? Then you can do what you want, and the people that want to sit in their armchair and rot can sit in their armchair and rot, and the people that want to go out and create stuff can go out and create stuff.
So it's called ladaring, isn't it? Ladaring?
Yeah.
That's what the Americans call it.
Yeah.
What does that stand for? Lie down and die.
No. I can't remember,
Ladaring.
but we'll...
Something and rot.
Yes. Yeah, it's
around.
lying...
Dying.
Lying
rotting.
in bed, doom scrolling and rotting or something. Look,
Ladaring.
we'll
It sounds so
remember
glamorous, ladaring. But that's what we could all do. That's the beautiful
if you want
future
to. Yeah.
that technology
Yeah,
is
because
promising.
AI is going to apparently do everything for us.
Yeah.
But then...
Well, this camera right now just looks at me when I talk. So this means that Aaron gets to ladar.
Yeah, because he doesn't have to move a camera because it moves
Am I
itself.
right? No, you have to do a lot of setup, right? And then you have to monitor the tech. That's the job now.
And that's exactly it. It's doing the setting up and the monitoring of the tech, because there is no way that... So, I mean, maybe it'll get there eventually, but there's nuance to things, right?
I do love the word nuance. It's almost as good as cadence.
There's the fact that you happened to be speaking to, you know, this client that you're doing the bookkeeping for a few days ago when you bumped into him in the street, and you know for a fact that that invoice that's just come in for tiling was not done in his coffee shop, but it was actually done at his house, and he's trying to sneak it through. It's things like that.
But talk to me about this, because to me this is the kind of bread and butter of bookkeeping, right? But I still meet bookkeepers who do not consider this part of the job.
So
and
I think
none of the technology is doing this, right? None of the sort of auto-reconciliation AI is being built around this kind of concept of what's a personal expense, what's a business expense.
Yeah.
So is it going to be a thing of the past? Is it something we should hold on to?
There's always going to be room for like humans to need to be involved in this, right? Because you know, once you get to know your client, I can have the same...
They call that KYC, don't they?
They do.
World.
But knowing your client properly, right? Like actually knowing them, right? So if I know that, especially if you look at some of my team, they could have the same 7 Amazon receipts from 2 different clients, right? And with one of them, they would know without a shadow of a doubt those are all genuine business expenses. If a different client bought the same 7 items, they know that because of the job that person does, because of the business that they have, or just because they know that guy, they know that 2 of those are actually personal expenses, even if those 2 clients bought the exact same 7 items on the exact same day for the exact same price. Now, no AI, no matter how hard you train it, knows that.
And that's why Bookkeeper failed.
Yeah.
$90 million in.
It's an insane
Waste
amount of
of
money.
time.
And do you not feel, because you were around for it, and I know, so Remy is sitting over there watching, and she wasn't around for this, but you remember the dot-com bubble and the dot-com crash. And do you not feel like maybe there is some sort of massive AI crash coming really, really soon? Because people are just chucking money into it, into things that are not making a profit. Look at what happened in 1999, 2000. Look at pets.com and things like that. Is this not just that again?
It could very well be. I did see actually that Yamaha had patented an engine part that actually looks like an engine,
Right.
but doesn't operate like an engine at all. Did you see this?
No.
All it does is create the sound and the feel. So it sucks air in. It's got like pistons and everything. It looks essentially like an engine, but it's for motorbikes that have like an electric engine. And people are just like, oh, it just doesn't really feel cool. So it's just like a vibes engine that makes you feel like you're on a real motorbike.
This is like when BMW released the original Z3 and they thought it sounded a bit too quiet, so they ran the speaker cables for the stereo
Exactly.
along the exhaust pipes so that you would get some interference. It sounded louder.
But they could have done that, but they went for more of a kind of analog way of doing it. But I think that just sort of says something about humans are really stuck in their ways, basically. Like, I want to straddle it and I want it to kind of vibrate and sound really meaty. And like nothing else will do. But it's like, I do care about the environment, but I just still want to feel cool.
Absolutely.
So, yeah, you could well be
Madness.
right.
We'll
Heading for a crash.
Only time will tell. But look, there's been, like, along with Bookkeeper, there's been a couple of other high-profile failures recently. Like, say, Genesis, who were all over all of the trade shows last year, are now kaput, nowhere to be seen, gone. They were one of the real big, like, because their AI had, you know, a human name, which made it all the more lovable to all the people that signed up.
Coconut, I feel like did go away and then came back.
Yeah, coconut are, who knows with coconut, because of our types of clients and because we're mostly Guernsey based, I've not really had much interaction with coconut, but I've heard some rustlings and some whispers about how they might not be the most friendly software to work with and how they might have some...
Well, they just made me a bit coconut shy. I couldn't help it.
I heard that you can avoid them pretty well by just sitting in a hammock all day.
Yeah. Nice. Love
So,
hammock.
Before we descend into a ridiculous slew of software related puns, what else is hot
What else is hot?
and what else is not? You can do a hot or
I'm
a not.
super into the hot right now, and this is not really a bookkeeping thing. But
That's fine,
maybe
we can
could
digress.
We could maybe draw a kind of analogy. I'm really into hamsters.
Okay.
We just got 2 hamsters,
Names?
Possum
Nice.
and the Rock.
The
So
Rock.
the Rock is teeny tiny, robo hamster, super fast. We technically don't have the Rock anymore because the Rock disappeared on day 2 down the back of the sink in the bathroom. And I was up last night at like 2:30 a.m. staking out the bathroom trying to grab this hamster. They've got really furry feet, the robo. It is
Right.
actually called a robo hamster, but it's short for something else. But it's not an actual robot, it's real. They have very furry feet because they are from the desert.
I see.
Yeah, like 2 in the morning, I was at like trying to trap the hamster, and it was like skidding all around the bathroom, and unfortunately escaped back down where it's happiest, alone behind the sink. But
So you're like leaving food out for him, the Rock, or
Yeah.
yeah, okay,
so she's a she
okay.
called the Rock.
The Rock's a she, okay. I've got a female cat called King Boo, so I'm all for wrong, like
Quite into sort of gender
misgendering
fluidity
animals. Yeah,
in
yeah.
my household, but I think they're like a real sort of like stealth threat. The hamster, they're a really great pet,
Yeah.
very lovable, not loving in any way.
No, they're quite. They can be quite bitey.
Quite
That's
bitey.
nice, yeah.
And so the other hamster is like a slightly bigger hamster, slower and bigger, Possum.
Okay.
And she does this thing where, I don't know if this is standard for hamsters, when she's doing a poo, she pulls it out with her mouth.
Nice, nice, nice. This is exactly the type of content I expected from the chief executive
Yeah.
officer of the professional body of which I remember.
You know, I think there is something there in, the job needs doing, so get it done.
Well, exactly. Oh, and you said we could draw an analogy, and sometimes that is what bookkeeping really is about: it's getting the job done.
Getting the
It's
job done.
unbelievably tenuous.
Yeah. I mean, I do things like, it's like, because it's Easter holidays, so it's like,
Yeah,
let's do something celebratory, like
Let's buy
extend the
hamsters.
family,
yeah.
lose part of the family
Immediately the next day.
habits of family. So I'm into
Yeah.
hamsters this week.
Okay.
What about you?
Nice. We got a new kitten recently, and she was a little bit poorly when she turned up, and so we got some test results back from the vet today, and it turned out she had COVID the whole entire time.
No
She's
way.
fine now.
Didn't know they could get COVID.
No, I vaguely recall something from 5 years ago saying, if you catch COVID, don't let your cats come near you because they can catch it. Turns out this one had COVID. I've still not had COVID because I'm better than everyone.
Have you possibly had it but you didn't test?
No, I was actually really, really good at testing because I was quite paranoid about it.
And you're married to a nurse?
To a nurse,
So
exactly.
you're married to a wife, obviously. A nursey wife.
Yeah.
So
I was quite
yeah,
paranoid,
okay,
but
so
we
she was
just
strict.
did quite a lot of testing. And as far as I know, unless I literally had it for 3 days in between tests, haven't had COVID.
So what else can you catch from a cat?
I mean, a lot of people can get, if you're slightly allergic to cats and you don't realise, if they scratch you, you're like cat scratch fever. So it's
Oh.
like an infection that you get from cat scratches, and it can be
just-
quite nasty.
It just inflames.
Yeah,
I've
and then
had
it can
that,
like
definitely.
spread throughout if you're really allergic. Yeah.
I'm quite allergic to cats.
Okay.
Which is a shame because they're the easy option, aren't they, as pets go?
Yeah, cat. Well, I mean, you say that, but this one runs around at 1,000 miles an hour, all night, every night, non-stop at the moment. But it's a kitten; it will grow up.
You have other pets?
We have 2 other cats, one of which is
Ooh.
21 years old and not very pleased about the new cat.
So I'm probably not coming to your house, basically.
No, yeah, I probably wouldn't if you're allergic to cats. There's three of the buggers there.
Good way to make me keep my distance. Is
Do you know
to
what I
get a
mean?
cat.
That's why I got 3 cats, was to keep Amy Copeland away, actually.
So cats are good though. Cats good.
Yep.
What's not so good in your world right now?
Do you know, I can't think of anything non-work related that's not so good at the moment, I've got to be honest.
Oh.
I know, it's really difficult.
Living the dream.
No, not that everything's spectacular, just that nothing's bad enough to be bad.
It's not
Does that
bad.
make
It's
sense?
not like comically bad.
Yeah, nothing's like, oh
It's
my
just-
God,
it's
this is
humdrum
terrible.
bad.
Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
day-to-day bad.
Uh-huh.
It's like, oh no, the electricity bill's a bit expensive. Oh God.
Isn't
that
it?
kind of thing. Well, electricity
I got an email. This is boring, but I got an email from Ocado, and it was like, "Hey, we're doing olive oil on sale. Get a litre, not for 20 quid, but for 15 quid." I was like, "No way."
But no one knows what anything should cost anymore, right?
I know exactly what everything should cost.
You know what olive oil should cost.
We're bookkeepers, right? We know exactly what things should cost. Olive oil, no, it's not costing. It's
That's
not
a bit
costing
much.
15 quid, let alone
No, it should be
20 quid, right?
$6.99, probably.
For a litre.
Yeah, easily.
Yeah.
And there's going to be, when this goes
Yeah,
out,
that's
there'll be
what
an
I pay.
olive oil expert in the comments saying, well, actually, I pay $24.99 a litre and it's worth it.
We're talking, what do you call it? The green stuff.
Yeah.
Not
just
that
the
yellow
cheap,
stuff, the green
no,
stuff.
just the cheap extra virgin olive oil. That.
Extra virgin,
Yeah.
yeah. That's not cheap.
Yeah, the green one. No,
That's
it's not.
that's the Lux.
No, the yellow. No, hang on.
one
The
is
yellow one's the
less
really. Yeah, it is less Lux.
Yeah. So £7. I did not put olive oil in my basket this week because it was £7.50, and I thought that is going too far.
Yeah, it's a bit much.
Sainsbury's.
You go back to veg oil.
IC benefits, discount through Sainsbury's makes it even cheaper.
We don't have a Sainsbury's.
What?
We don't have a Sainsbury's.
What else? No squirrels, no Sainsbury's.
No squirrels,
No
no
McDonald's.
badgers, no foxes, no McDonald's, no Sainsbury's.
I thought you said no badgers for a second. I was like, oh, you not?
I did
not
say no
safe around
badgers.
her.
We don't have
No
any badgers. Oh, badgers.
Badgers. No one ever sees badgers. Are you mad? I thought maybe the people of Guernsey were not allowed near badgers because
No,
they're sharp.
you do sometimes see a badger like just lying down having a rest at the side of the road waiting to cross. Don't
Dead,
you? That's
you
what.
mean.
No.
You mean dead.
What? No.
A dead
What?
badger.
No.
I think I hit a badger once and I was... Oh no, it was terrible memory. Terrible memory. I wasn't sure what it was, but it kind of scampered off and it wasn't very well. All right, tell me more about bookkeeping related things. If there are any.
There are, but are they for the next episode?
Oh my gosh. Spoiler, are you bored already?
No.
Have we done enough, Aaron? Boss man.
23 minutes.
Yeah, so we were aiming for 20.
Were we? Okay.
Yeah, we were aiming for a 20-minute episode.
I was amused.
And it will continue to be amusing in the next episode.
Okay, and we'll
And
talk about...
We'll talk about what's hot and what's not in the world of bookkeeping. I ain't fucking know. We'll talk
what's
about
hot,
something.
What's not? What's in her basket this week?
We'll talk about hamsters. If you want to find out how much Amy Copeland, CEO of the ICB, spends on hamster food during an average week, then, tune in for the next Ask the Bookkeeper. I'm Aaron Patrick. No, I'm not.
He wishes he was Aaron Patrick, and so do I.
And with that,
We want to see you next time. Find out here
you've got
whether...
that camera.
Is that
This is-
5 of them?
That's 5 cameras. This has been Ask the Bookkeeper. I've been Tim Chilestone. This has been Amy Copeland. And
And this is typical of the manosphere.
is
They
it?
just talk for you, don't they? I mean, that's what we know, isn't it?
I was about to hand over to you. Oh, shut up. We'll cut that out and you'll look really bad.
I was just going to say, check in here to find out if the rock comes out of its tiny hiding place behind my bathroom sink, right? That's what people are
I
interested in.
cannot wait.
So-
Little BTS. Because Millie will kill me the
Yeah.
same way Elizabeth will kill you.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
We'll both be
Exactly.
in trouble.
Exactly.
Oh my God, it's great when the
Unbelievable
music
album.
stops. Thank you so much.